How's it going? Hopefully you're doing all right, staying safe. It's not looking good for us, and people don't see that. I've said for a while now, and I'm not the only one, saying that judgment is due for America. And we don't see that. We're too caught up. We're too secure in ourselves, believing that nothing's going to happen to us. And this is where we're going to find out that God is real. We don't understand that. We have what we got going on now. Once again, Trump. Now Trump is threatening to wipe Iran off the map, right? End their civilization. That he's sticking to his threats. So possibly by midnight tonight, if this gets up in time, maybe it's already done with, maybe it's already happened by now, by the time this gets uploaded. But now he's saying, they'll wipe the civilization off the map. Oh, Israel. Well, it's all for Israel, right? Because if we don't do something, we supposedly won already, right? According to Trump, we've got them, we've attacked them, and we got them hurting. And what we have is the innocent hurting, right? There's people that refuse to see what all this really is. They refuse to open their eyes, and they refuse to let go of Trump, pretending that he's not one of them. He's a businessman, right? And ever since he's been in there, it's been nothing but lies. Oh, he's a man of God. God protect him to save the world, right? He's chosen by God. I'm so sick of hearing these Christians that don't understand their God, okay? If that's the God you are worshiping, then you are worshiping the devil. You need to understand that. Lately, my videos have been more focused on God or religion, right? Christianity. And there's good reason for that. Because of these things that are going on now. I've kept an eye on this my whole life. My whole life, literally. And there's people that know that, right? Some people use, you're overthinking things. It would never be like that, right? Well, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm somebody who's kept my eye on the Bible, kept my eye on God, and kept my eye on history and how things are really going, okay? It don't take a genius to figure it out. But yet the people are blind. Much is the same story with the Bible, right? The Bible is written to us in simple terms. Jesus came again and tried to put it out in simple terms. Nobody wanted to understand it, so he started giving it in parables. Like, what don't you people figure out about this, right? I'm the way, the truth, and the light. You do not come to the Father but through me. And if you love me and you want to end up in heaven, then you will keep my commandments. I'm the same yesterday, today, and always. Therefore, the same way I was before I came is the same way I am now and will continue to be. But we don't, we can't just understand simple stuff. But then we got people bringing in all this supposed prophecies. Right? And we got people everywhere you look talking about like they're the expert and they got the prophecies figured out. And they don't even understand. Let's talk about Revelation for a minute, or other past prophecies where they're trying to tell us about this Iran war, our involvement in Iran. And they use this stuff to make it look like we're on the good side and we're doing what God expects. And they'll say stuff like Gog and Magog, right? And none of them, so far anything I've seen, none of them understand what that is. They keep, oh, that's Russia or that's this. No, they don't understand that these are spiritual names. Okay, these prophecies came to these prophets were people who were given visions of the spiritual realm, the spiritual side of the veil, seeing what's going on there. Because here on this side of it, we mirror that. Right? What goes on in heaven goes on earth. So they don't understand what Gog and Magog is, because these were spiritual names, right? Just like when Jacob was changed to Israel, that's because that was the spiritual name given to him by God. And you'll find this in various parts in the Bible, especially from the prophets. They'll see things in the spiritual side and have the discernment to understand what that means, right? And what that always means is destruction's coming for disobeying God, right? And you don't get to be full of sin and say, oh, well, we're attacking people because they're threatening God's people and therefore God's going to forgive our sins. That's not how that works, but we're going to find out. Mark my words. These warnings have been given out throughout all of history. America steps up and says, we're the Christian nation. Going to war to appease the super rich who get off on this stuff. They've taken the Bible, they've taken prophecy and made it as their roadmap. What's going on in Iran, well, I say some of this because this idiot posts this stuff on Facebook, Richard Killian or whatever. I'll post some screenshots here. And I got on there just trying to be helpful, brother. You need to get your facts straight. You need to understand God and the Bible. Because if you believe what you posted here, then you do not understand neither God, David, or the Bible, right? They want to compare Trump to David. Oh, Trump is God's David. Trump is nothing like David. There's people that don't want to understand. Take the time to read it for yourself, that the blessing God has given us over the years is, for us English-speaking people, is for the Bible to end up printed in English, right? Therefore, you have no excuse. You can read it for yourself. Instead, you pick up these study Bibles or Bibles with footnotes written by people who are owned by Israel, Zionists, right? And they direct you on how to read the Bible and tell you, oh, you should be reading it, this verse from that chapter, mixing it all up. It's a book. Read it from front to back and get the understanding. You'll start understanding this. Stop listening to people direct you with it. Unless they're talking about the complete chapter, right? Put it into perspective. Don't take it out of context. When you're quoting just one or two verses out of a whole chapter, then you are usually, when they do that, they're doing that to use that to make their argument and ignoring what the whole chapter was actually about, what it was actually saying. And we do this like you got Dummy Hegseth quoted in his blasphemous prayer, quoted some of Psalm, right? Just a bit, just a couple of verses, right? Because that's who God is. God is the God of war, and he wants death and destruction. That's what, against Israel's people. This is the lies they tell us, right? But who was David and what was really going on? Well, David, these prayers and psalms that he made was about what was going on in his life, right? And God avenged him. But let's put that into perspective, the whole perspective. Read the entire chapter, or read the entire story of David. Because what was going on is David was surrounded. He was under attack by his enemies, by the enemies of God. And one of those major enemies was Israel. Right? Oh, that's God's people. Well, they were the ones attacking David. They're not the only ones, right? But for a large portion of it, the leader of Israel, Saul, felt threatened by David, so he was trying to kill him. So he was chosen by God. Therefore, God protected him. That's not the case that's going on here. Right? America sucker punched Iran, who has not been a threat to America in any form. Right? Now we got this mess going on, and we're pissed off that they reacted against our ungodly attack. Oh, and we say, well, they're going to blow up Israel and wipe them off the map. Oh, so it's okay to wipe some other people off the map, right? Because these idiot Zionist Christians, whether it be dispensationalists or prosperity or Zionism, all that comes from the same stuff. A bunch of people making money off of God. And that's what they're doing. They're not saving your soul. If you are following those people and agreeing with them, your soul is in danger. I'm telling you this as a friend. I got nothing at all to gain. Nothing at all to gain from you hearing me out. Nothing, right? I make no money off of this. Not asking you for nothing. I'm telling you, please, it's God's will that you do not perish, right? And if you are following these people, I'm sad to say, you're going to perish in hell. If you agree with them, if you're praying these prayers that they're telling you to pray, right? And keep sending them your money while they're filthy rich and committing their sins. But we can't get people to understand that. But if you opened your eyes, it would be slapping you in the face, right? But nobody wants to understand that. Oh, Trump is protected and chosen by God. Nothing he's doing is godly at all, right? He's not following Jesus, therefore he's not doing God's will. Just as Israel, the current nation over there, is not the real Israel. That's just how it is. There's just so much people don't want to take the time to understand. They don't read the Bible for themselves. They don't want to read the Bible for themselves. Take the time to understand it. Instead, they'll trust someone they don't even know to explain to them what it means. And it doesn't matter how much you learn about Jesus, how he lived, what he expects, how we're supposed to be like him. You got people still trying to twist out Old Testament and everything else to make you believe that God calls you to war. We don't understand what the term nations means. We don't understand how much of it is actually spiritual. In order to understand this stuff, you got to take the time to understand the history of the people, the background, the things they thought, how life was. They're everywhere, huh? They're everywhere, whiskey. Here's what it comes down to. The people over there now are not the true Israel anymore. Israel, since the time of Jesus, has become a spiritual nation. God's Israel, right? Otherwise, the Israel of the Old Testament was destroyed, and they were forced off the land because they repeatedly kept turning away from God, turning to other gods, and committing atrocities and sin, right? Exactly what we see going on in America right now, exactly what we see going on with Christians. The time of the Gentiles is fulfilled. How do you know that? Because, well, Christians, the new Israel, the spiritual Israel, has chosen to follow the same path, turn to other gods and turn to sin and wretchedness. We don't want to understand that. If you are supporting this nonsense with Trump and praying for violence, and think, if you dare think, that Trump is being protected by God and he's doing God's work, you need to think again. If you think that God loves the current Israel over there now, loves those people more than he does the Iranian people, then you don't know God. You don't understand Jesus. You don't understand the Bible. You've been manipulated and listening to Christian Zionism, which is a product of the Rothschilds. Okay, in 1947, they're the ones, look at the Balfour Declaration, they're the ones behind bringing Israel back together. And they're not all Israel were Jews. Jews stood for one group of them, the tribe of Judea. The tribe of Judah, right? Jews were from that tribe, Judea, right? And we don't understand that. We're acting like, oh, they're God's people and God has a separate covenant for them than us. That's not how that works. They choose Jesus Christ or not. And the people over there now do not. The people that Trump is bowing down to do not choose Jesus. They hate Jesus, and their own books say so. And that is why the land was taken from them. But these people who are working for the devil are trying to make war with God. And the time is here. He's going to give them what they want. And he's going to show them that he is God and they are powerless against him. Judgment is coming to America. And we don't want to see that. But for me, I'm tired of hearing the nonsense. This is going to turn into a nuclear situation at the hands of these nutcases who are surrendering their souls to Satan. And that's the damn truth, and people can't see that, right? Everyone's going to know. God's been holding it off long enough. And the whole reason he's doing that is so as many as will come to him will turn to him. So that as many as can be saved will be. But we're allowing these rich, satanic assholes to manipulate us, and people don't want to consider how they are leading their own, letting these people lead them to hell. And you don't believe that? Well, you better think again. You better start reading the Bible, asking God for understanding. Read it for yourself. Stop letting some Christian Zionist movement direct you into twisting the scriptures. Mark my words, this is where it's at. This is where we're at now. The end is here. You better get right. You better consider that. Stop thinking it's your duty to defend Trump. Trump's doing God's work, protecting Israel. This is a lie. Okay? That ain't what Jesus calls us for. And because of this, we are going to be judged. We got all these fools, right, telling you, oh, this is what God expects. We're doing God's will. We believe in Jesus, right? They don't. Not the real Jesus. They don't even understand what it means to believe in him. It's not, just proclaim his name. We're told that in the Bible time and time again, what it means to proclaim his name and what his name is. Read Exodus 34 and you'll find out God proclaims his name. Anyways, we'll get more into this later. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about all this? Or just say hello to whiskey. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments. For that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.